Welcome back to this week's Fantasy Baseball Cafe's Forum Trade Talk. I'm here, Jason Gilbo, breaking down 5 trades that caught my eye this week, and we're kind of getting into the trade deadline about a week or two away from August. Some of you guys got those later ones that kind of wrap into September, but everything should be wrapping up here for trades pretty shortly. Remember to keep putting them in and get the cafe opinion there. A lot of great minds outside the analysts that work here. You got some good guys there that'll give you what you need to know. Looking at trade number 1 here, I like this one a lot. Guy was offered Joey Votto for Matt Kemp and Johnny Peralta. Guy has too many first basemen. He's looking to offload one. Looking to bulk his team up with 2 position guys. I'm fine with Matt Kemp and Johnny Peralta being on the move there. That's a really solid 2 to give up and get Votto in return. Matt Kemp's been okay, hit a couple hot streaks, but not really anything great. Peralta's been good, but slowing down a little bit. And he's got Carlos Correa, who's just going to slide into the shortstop role there. So I like that a lot. And taking a look at who would fill in for Matt Kemp, he needs to go out and pick up a waiver wire, and he listed Cesar Hernandez for the Phillies. Was a really solid bat. David Peralta and Ender Inciarte. So 2 Diamondbacks. Those are the top 3 I really like to choose from. Whether you need stolen bases, you can go with Inciarte or Hernandez. Peralta's a nice RBI home runs guy. So I think any of those 3 are a nice fill-in for Kemp. And so you're really looking at one of those guys and Votto while losing out on Peralta and Kemp. So that's a great trade. I like getting the Hall and Votto there. Looking at trade number 2, it involves Chris Sale, who's been absolutely horrible of late. He's been kind of burning me in the ERA and WHIP and all that, but strikeouts are still there, but not good from Chris Sale. So owner 1 sends Chris Sale and Gerardo Parra for Francisco Liriano, Carlos Gomez, and Greg Holland. I mean, the note here is Gomez gives him a boost in stolen bases, but that's not the case at all. Gomez is not running this year. Parra is actually ahead of him in stolen bases. I really like Parra moving to Baltimore. Not a big shift in park factor from Milwaukee. Still a solid bat and in a good lineup. I really like Parra still. I mean, going forward at keeper, which is not mentioned here, I guess you would still take Carlos Gomez. And then obviously Francisco Liriano is just a little bit under Chris Sale, but not a bad trade-off there. But no mention of a keeper league, so I'm not entirely sure here. I think going forward for the rest of the season, I still rather have Sale and Parra. I know you're trying to upgrade here with Holland on the back end. But it's a league that counts holds and saves, so I would still just kind of go out and waiver wire hunt for a little bit there. You just gotta like Parra. Gomez hasn't been great. I don't think the transition to Houston is going to make him any significant value change there. I still hold on to Sale. I think he's the best player out of these 5 guys. I think Parra is on par with Carlos Gomez going forward for the rest of the season. So the only upgrade would be Holland. Keeper, yeah, I do it. But once again, no mention here, so I'm not entirely sure. But it would be a no for me. I'm sticking with Sale and Parra going forward for the rest of the season. This one was actually really interesting because it's a dynasty trade. Involves 2 or 3 top kind of pitching prospects and 3 that we've seen recently. John Gray for the Rockies, Henry Owens for the Red Sox, and Daniel Norris, who just got shipped off to Detroit. So he was offered John Gray and Henry Owens for Daniel Norris. And Daniel Norris is probably the top prospect out of the 3, in my opinion. Henry Owens being next, John Gray being third. I just don't like pitchers in Colorado to begin with. John Gray hasn't been that great in the minors. It's not like he's been electric and kind of been in the wings for a long time. And just any pitcher, it's hard to see them panning out in Coors. It's tough. So yeah, I mean, if you're looking to possibly make some moves and take maybe a hopeful like John Gray and Henry Owens for Norris, sure, it's a little risky. I rather stay safe with Norris there, because I really see it as a 1-for-1 deal. I don't see John Gray really panning out unless you can turn around and flip one of them. But that would be the only option there. So overall, I'm not a big fan of it, but yeah, I guess you can look at it as two prospects for one, but I don't see Gray really panning out. Looking at the fourth one here, Madison Bumgarner coming in for Lance Lynn in a 2016 fifth round draft pick. Little backstory behind this. Guys looking to lock up pretty much he's got a really solid pitching staff. Clayton Kershaw, John Lester, Matt Harvey, Garrett Cole, Arrieta, Lance Lynn, Salazar, Syndergaard. So looking for Bumgarner, adding that in for Lance Lynn, sure. Do you need it? No, but it is a nice upgrade, I guess, for Bumgarner for Lynn. You're not giving up offense, so it's not really any sacrifice. You are giving up the 15 or the fifth round pick next year. It's fine. Bumgarner cannot be kept, so I mean, yeah, it makes sense, I guess, to upgrade Bumgarner from Lynn going down the stretch and trying to make a push at the championship. Um, kind of just it is what it is. You're not really losing a lot. You're gaining a little bit. So if you feel like you need to move, I think it's decent to have Bumgarner there, but the rotation's fairly solid. Um, I mean the offense is good, so it's just one of those trades that to shake things up here, I guess. So overall, I like it. I like adding Bumgarner, but I don't see a real need for it. Last one here, we're looking at Michael Wacha for Charlie Blackmon, or sorry, Charlie Blackmon for Michael Wacha. Guy looking to add another starting pitcher going down the stretch. Um, he's got Chris Archer, Lance Lynn, Jose Quintana, Wei-Yin Chen, um, Jose Fernandez, John Lackey, Volquez. Um, I'm not a big fan. I like Blackmon a lot. He's got stolen base potential. He's already at 20 plus or whatever he's at. Hits and cores, solid average. I just think he's a big part of the offense going through the lineup here. And, Michael Wacha's, yeah, he's good. He's a decent fantasy player. I'm aiming a little higher. I'm looking for someone with a little higher strikeout upside. And because I think the wins you can find from kind of anywhere streaming, so you're really looking for that extra. If you're looking for wins, you're going ahead and you're streaming a back end guy, like dropping Lackey and starting to stream as well as Chen, because if you're just looking for wins here, there's no need to just swap out Blackmon, who's a nice outfielder, for Wacha, who doesn't have a complete package here going forward for a fantasy pitcher. So I'm not really on par with that. I like Blackmon a lot more than Wacha. I think he has a bigger value, and for what you're looking for, I would go out and try and stream some W's. So that's gonna be number 5, and keep heading up and into our forums and putting the trades down, and we'll come back with our opinions, and I'll take a look, and hopefully yours will find here in the podcast.